Welcome to EduRev. So if you've ever stared at a UCAT Logic puzzle and just felt your brain completely short-circuit, you are in exactly the right place. My goal today is simple. I want to completely demystify these questions and give you a powerful, repeatable system you can use every single time.
Together, we're going to transform these puzzles from something you dread into a real opportunity to rack up points on your UCAT score. Ready? Let's get started.
I get it. You see that wall of text, all those different rules and conditions, and it's easy to just freeze. Trust me, it's a super common feeling. But I promise you, there's a method to the madness. These puzzles aren't nearly as random as they look.
And that's exactly what we're here to do. I'm not going to just throw 100 random tips at you and hope something sticks. Nope, I'm going to give you one solid plan, a kind of universal toolkit that you can apply to literally every logic puzzle you come across.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll break down what a puzzle is actually made of. Then, I'll hand you your toolkit. After that, we'll see how to use it on the 4 main puzzle types. We'll also talk about the all-important skill of time management, and then we'll wrap it up with a quick recap and what to do next.
All right, let's dive into our first section. To really beat these puzzles, you have to know what makes them tick. So, we're going to pull them apart, piece by piece, so they become way more predictable and a whole lot less scary.
Okay, at its core, this is the entire game right here. I want you to start thinking of yourself as a detective. You're given a bunch of clues, that's the information, and your only job is to piece them together to find the one thing that must be true. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And here's the cool part. Every single puzzle is built this way. First, you get the setup. That tells you who and what you're dealing with. Then you get the rules. Those are your clues. And finally, the answer options. Once you see this pattern, you'll always know where to start.
So now that we know what a puzzle looks like on the inside, let's build your strategy. I'm about to give you that universal toolkit I was talking about. These are the core strategies that are going to work for you no matter what puzzle you're facing.
This right here, this is your secret weapon. First, always identify the goal. What is the question actually asking for? Second, and this is huge, start with the simplest facts. Third, use efficient notation to save time. Fourth, create a smart sketch to see the problem clearly. Fifth, use what I call a pick and mix strategy. Don't just read rules top to bottom, use the easiest ones first. And finally, know when to stop early. The second you have your answer, you're done. Move on.
Now listen up, because this is probably the single most important piece of advice I can give you. So many people get bogged down trying to solve the hardest rule first. Don't do it. Your first move should always be to find the easiest, most concrete piece of information, something that's fixed in place, and get that down on your sketch. It's the anchor that holds the whole solution together.
And this might seem small, but it's a game changer for your speed. Think about it. Writing out the full word blue takes way longer than just writing BL. It might only be a second or two, but those seconds add up over the whole section. You have to be efficient.
Okay, you've got your toolkit. Now let's see how it works out in the wild. We're going to take a look at the 4 main types of logic puzzles that you are pretty much guaranteed to run into on the UCAT.
And this table breaks it down perfectly. If it's a matching puzzle, you're going to want to use a grid. For sequencing, just draw some simple blanks. For spatial puzzles, a quick diagram is your best friend. And for algebraic ones, you're jotting down equations. Honestly, just picking the right sketch for the right puzzle, that's half the battle right there.
So you can have the best technique in the world, right? But if you run out of time, it's all for nothing. Let's talk about the master skill that ties everything together, managing that clock.
This is your number. This is your target. About 1 minute per puzzle. Now, some will be quicker, maybe 30 seconds. A few might take a little longer. But this is the average you need to aim for to get through the entire section.
So here's what you have to be absolutely ruthless with your time. If you look at a puzzle and think, yep, I can knock this out quickly, then do it. Bank that point. But if you read a question and your gut tells you, whoa, this thing is a monster, do not get sucked in. You skip it, you flag it, and you come back later if you have time. Remember, every question is worth the exact same single mark.
Phew! Okay, we have covered a ton of ground really fast. We've dissected the puzzle, we've built our toolkit, we've talked strategy. So let's do a super quick recap of the absolute essentials before we talk about your next move.
If you walk away with nothing else, please remember these 3 things. 1. Deconstruct. Know the puzzle structure, setup, rules, answers, so you're never caught off guard. 2. Strategize. Always start with the easiest clue first. It is your anchor. And 3. Sketch. Pick the right tool for the job, a grid, some blanks, or a diagram. That's it. That is the core of the entire system.
All right, I've given you the blueprint.
I've shown you the strategies, but a blueprint doesn't build a house, right? You do. And the only way you're going to get really fast and really confident is by putting in the reps with consistent, focused practice.
So, what is your next step? Simple. To really make this all second nature, I want you to head over to the Play Store or the iOS App Store right now and download the EduRev app. It is loaded with practice puzzles, full mock exams, and all the prep you need to turn this plan into actual points on your UCAT. So get practicing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.